stop scrolling. I need to tell you something. And you're not going to like it. Right now, as you're watching this, you're disappearing. Not dramatically, not all at once, but cell by cell, choice by choice, day by day, you're becoming someone you never planned to be. And the scariest part, you don't even notice it happening. Let me prove it to you. Think about the last time someone asked you what you wanted, really wanted. Not what made sense, not what was practical, what you actually deeply wanted. You couldn't answer, could you? And that pause, that moment of, I don't know, that's not confusion, that's erasure. You've been erasing yourself so gradually, so reasonably, so responsibly, that you forgot you existed. And today, that ends. Because I'm about to show you exactly how people vanish from their own lives without ever noticing. How your brain tricks you into thinking you're fine when you're really just numb. And most importantly, how to get yourself back before it's too late. This isn't motivational garbage. This isn't follow your dreams nonsense. This is about something way more serious. Something that's happening to millions of people right now while they sit in traffic, scroll through their phones, and wonder why everything feels so empty. So here's the deal. You've got two choices. You can click away right now, go back to your comfortable numbness, and wake up in 5 years exactly where you are now. Or you can stay with me for the next 15 minutes and finally understand why you feel like a stranger in your own life. Your call. Still here? Good. Let's go. Part 1. The invisible theft. Okay, first thing you need to understand, nobody wakes up one day and decides to abandon themselves. Nobody sits down and goes, you know what? I'm going to spend the next 10 years becoming someone I don't recognize. That's not how it works. What happens is way more insidious, way more quiet. It starts on a Tuesday. You're tired. Someone asks what you want for dinner, and you say, whatever you want. No big deal, right? It's just dinner. But here's what you don't realize. That tiny moment, that millisecond where you chose convenience over truth, that's the theft. And it compounds. Next week, they ask where you want to go for the weekend. I don't care, you decide. Next month, they ask what you think about a major decision, whatever makes you happy. Next year, they ask who you are, and you have no damn answer, because you've been practicing not having opinions for so long that you forgot how to want things. Now let me ask you something that's going to hurt. How many times today did you do something you didn't actually want to do? Not big things, small things. Agreed to plans you didn't want? Said you were fine when you weren't? Smiled when you felt nothing? Stayed quiet when you wanted to speak? Now multiply that by 365 days, then by 5 years, then by 10. That's how many times you've chosen to disappear. Thousands of tiny moments where you picked comfort over truth, where you said yes when you meant no, where you stayed when you wanted to leave. And each moment was so small it didn't seem to matter, but they added up. And now you're here, watching a video about becoming someone you never planned to be, because some part of you, maybe the last part of you that's still real, knows something's wrong. Part 2. The man who vanished in plain sight. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 34. Good job, nice apartment, girlfriend of 3 years, gym membership he used twice a month. Everything looked fine from the outside. But Marcus had a problem. He couldn't remember the last time he felt excited about anything. Not sad, not depressed, just flat. Like someone had turned down the volume on his entire life. He'd wake up, check his phone, go to work, do a good job, come home, watch whatever his girlfriend wanted, go to sleep. Repeat. And everyone thought he was winning. Stable job, stable relationship, stable life. But stable is just another word for stuck. One day, his girlfriend planned a surprise birthday party for him, invited all his friends, got a cake, the whole thing. And when she asked him what he wanted to do for his actual birthday, he genuinely couldn't think of anything. Not one thing. He tried, he really did, but his brain was blank, empty.
Like asking someone who's been eating nothing but plain rice for 10 years what their favorite food is. They don't know because they forgot what flavor tastes like. That's when it hit him. He'd become a supporting character in his own life. Just showing up, playing the role, hitting his marks, but there was no him in any of it. So I asked him, when did this happen? When did you stop wanting things? And he couldn't answer, because there was no moment, no dramatic event, no trauma, just years of tiny surrenders. Let's watch this show. Sure. Let's move for my job. Okay. Let's cancel that trip. Fine. Let's just stay in tonight. Whatever. Each one felt like being mature, being flexible, being a good partner. But add them all up, and he'd erased himself, one whatever you want at a time. And here's what makes this terrifying. Marcus isn't unique. Marcus is the default. Most people are Marcus, living their fine lives, going through their stable routines, being responsible adults, while slowly, quietly, completely disappearing. Part 3. Your brain is lying to you. Now let's talk about why this happens, because it's not your fault, at least not entirely. Your brain is designed to betray you. Seriously, evolution built your brain to keep you alive, not to keep you fulfilled. And keeping you alive means seeking comfort, avoiding risk, and sticking with what's familiar. Which worked great when staying with the tribe meant not getting eaten by a lion. But now, that same mechanism is destroying your life. Because here's the trick your brain plays on you. It makes comfort feel like success. Think about it. When you finally stop struggling, stop questioning, stop trying to figure out what you actually want, what happens? Relief, right? Your anxiety drops, your stress decreases, you're not fighting anymore, you're just existing. And your brain goes, yes, this is it, we've made it, let's never leave this spot. But that's not peace, that's sedation, that's your brain confusing the absence of pain with the presence of meaning. And once you hit that state, once you achieve fine, your brain will fight like hell to keep you there. It'll rationalize, it'll justify, it'll convince you that anyone who wants more is being unrealistic, ungrateful, immature. This is just what being an adult is. Everyone feels this way. You should be happy with what you have. But those aren't truths. Those are prison walls disguised as wisdom, because actually fulfilled people don't say that shit. Actually alive people don't spend their days in quiet desperation telling themselves they're fine. They're too busy actually living to need to convince themselves they're happy. And here's the really messed up part. Society rewards your numbness. Think about who gets praised, who gets promoted, who gets called mature and responsible. The people who don't rock the boat, who don't ask difficult questions, who show up, do what's expected, and never complain. The people who've successfully killed off every part of themselves that might cause inconvenience. And you look at them and think, that's what I should be like. So you try. You smooth out your edges, you quiet your desires, you become reasonable. And reasonable people don't want things. They just manage things. They manage their careers, their relationships, their responsibilities, but they don't live. They maintain. And maintaining feels like winning until you're 45 and realize you haven't actually done anything you wanted to do. You've just been responding to what other people needed. Part 4. The famous guy who lost himself in plain sight. Let me tell you about someone who had everything and still disappeared. John Lennon. Yeah, that John Lennon, the Beatle. Here's a guy who achieved what billions of people dream about. Fame, fortune, creative success, changed music forever, changed culture, made history. And right in the middle of all that success, he felt completely lost. He talked about it later, how he stopped being John and became John Lennon trademark, how every moment became a performance, how the image, the expectations, the constant pressure to be who everyone else needed him to be, it hollowed him out. He literally had to leave the biggest band in the world and move to New York just to remember who he was. Think about that for a second. Here's someone living the ultimate dream, and he still became someone he didn't recognize. Why? Because even success can be a cage if you're not careful. Even achievement can erase you if you're just going through the motions, playing a role, meeting expectations. And if it can happen to someone at the absolute pinnacle of success, it can happen to anyone. It can happen in your regular job, your regular relationship, your regular, completely normal life. Because the drift doesn't care about your circumstances. It just needs one thing, for you to stop paying attention. For you to go on autopilot long enough that you forget there's a manual mode. Part 5. The moment you realize you're gone. Here's how you know it's happened to you. Someone asks you to describe yourself. Not your job, not your role, you. And you freeze, because all you've got are external labels. Someone's employee, someone's partner, someone's parent, someone's friend. But strip all that away, and what's left? Who are you when nobody's watching? What do you want when it doesn't matter what anyone else wants? What would you do if nothing was stopping you? Blank. And that blankness, that terrifying emptiness where a person should be, that's when you realize you've become a collection of functions with no actual human inside. You're an employee function, a partner